What if a kiss could spark a revolution? In Mexico City, it did. This is the story of the Besoton Sidoso, where a public kiss-in exposed the fear and misinformation fueling HIV stigma and used intimacy to demand understanding, respect, and change. This is Grindr Presents The Equality Spotlight, a series exploring the stories shaping Grindr for Equality's mission, a world where LGBTQ+ lives are free, equal, and just. In 2025, despite incredible advancements in HIV treatment and prevention, misconceptions about the virus still persist. According to the joint United Nations Programme on HIV/AIDS, over 50% of people globally hold negative and discriminatory attitudes towards those living with HIV. This stigma isn't abstract, it's woven into daily life. Real people living with HIV stay silent about their status because they fear losing jobs, being shunned by family, or denied basic care. That fear is exactly what the Besoton set out to challenge. In Mexico City, a group of activists decided enough was enough. They organized a public display to tackle these outdated beliefs about HIV transmission. At the heart of this movement stood the Besoton Sidoso, a mass kiss-in at the iconic Bellas Artes Esplanade. By kissing openly, activists refuted the stubborn myth that HIV spreads through casual contact. Their defiance made it impossible to ignore the truth. The Besoton sent a clear message: HIV cannot be transmitted through kissing. Leading this initiative was Axel Bautista, a dedicated activist with a deeply personal mission to reclaim the narratives surrounding sex, love, and HIV.
The primary objective of the Besoton was to publicly demonstrate the sexuality and the sex and the pleasure of people living with HIV. And for us, it was like an act of resistance, like a way to show in a fearlessness and shamelessness way that we are here, that we are a community, and that we have the right to sex and to sexuality and to enjoy a pleasurable and happy life.
Shortly after the event, a former political advisor to the Conservative National Action Party, or PAN, spread a false accusation online claiming the Besoton was an attempt to spread HIV deliberately. The post gained traction, fueled by sensationalist rhetoric. This wasn't just misinformation, it was a reflection of how deeply entrenched HIV stigma remains. But Axel and his community refused to be silenced. Instead, they turned outrage into action. Across social media, people living with HIV and their allies answered back, correcting the record, sharing personal stories, and insisting that no one be reduced to misinformation. They turned a smear campaign into a platform for truth.
When misinformation like this happens, it's not only about correcting the facts, but I truly believe that it's also about confronting a stigma in a fearless and strong way, like by being yourself visible and by saying, I'm here, this is my community, and I'm existing. These movements are never about one person, it's like about everyone, because HIV is something that has different faces, it's very diverse.
From its origins at Bellas Artes, the Besoton sparked a reckoning and inspired similar events in Guadalajara and empowered individuals to reclaim their sexuality and their stories. And organizations like Inspira, G+, and Impact helped to make the impact even bigger. In direct support of the Guadalajara movement, Grindr for Equality worked with Impact to send in-app messages to local users, inviting them to join the Besoton and ensuring the message could reach as many people as possible.
We never thought that this was going to be like a movement. We always felt that it was more like a way to activate people and to sensitize community and to sensitize people. But it was very beautiful to see how participants and other people felt that it was something bigger.
The Besoton Sidoso reminded the world that people living with HIV are not defined by their status, but by their humanity, their joy, and their strength. Support the mission to end HIV stigma. Join Impact and Grindr for Equality in their work to empower communities and transform narratives.